Hey guys, so as you know, all month long, I'm easing the transition back to school and back to work with lots of yummy inspired lunch ideas. And today I'm really excited to share one with you that I think you're gonna love. They're my savory hand pies, otherwise known as like savory Pop-Tarts. They're basically these yummy little pastries that are filled with all sorts of delicious fillings. How many ways can I say tasty or delicious or yummy or incredible or outrageous? If you have new words for me to use, you can share them in the comment section below. So today I'm gonna show you hand pies 3 delicious ways. So for this recipe, I'm using some store-bought frozen pie crust. I've just thawed them out a little and rolled them out onto my board. All I'm going to do is use the top of a drinking glass to cut out the shapes that I'm looking for. Now I'm doing little round hand pies because I think that's adorable, but you can go ahead and make these any shape you like. I've seen them as turnovers. I've seen them in the traditional Pop-Tart rectangle. The shape is completely up to you. For my first flavor, I'm keeping things really simple. I'm just combining some chopped ham, some shredded Swiss cheese, and a little bit of green onion. Then it's time to get the tops on these bad boys. The best way to make sure these stick is by using some egg wash, which is just some beaten egg that I'm going to apply using a pastry brush. I'm going to add a little bit of my egg wash all the way around the rim, put the top on my hand pie and press it together with my fingers. If you want to get fancy, you can go ahead and crimp the edges with the tines of a fork. I think that makes these look extra pretty. And then I like to use a sharp knife to create some vents on the tops of each. I'm going to finish them off with a little more egg wash so they get nice and golden and brown. And then into the oven these go at 375 degrees for between 18 and 20 minutes, or until they're nice and crispy on the outside and ooey gooey chewy on the inside. They are oh so delicious, and I highly recommend you make a nice big batch of these and then freeze what you're not gonna use immediately because they are so great to have on hand. For my next flavor, I'm doing something a little savory and perfect for vegetarians. I'm mixing up a beautiful mushroom, onion, and goat cheese hand pie. And it's really as simple as heating up some oil in a skillet and just frying up some chopped onions, chopped mushrooms, and a few thyme leaves. I find the thyme goes a long way. If you've got the time, use the thyme leaves. Do it. You'll want to cook these down until the mushrooms are nice and soft and those onions start to caramelize. Then we are going to make our hand pies. Once again, we're using the very same technique, but we are going to top these babies with a little bit of goat cheese. And then you just bake them the same way we did the first ones. Honestly, the combination of the sweet onions and those savory mushrooms and the tart goat cheese, super good. If you want to take this right over the top, you can go ahead and use some crumbled blue cheese instead of the goat cheese. That would be outrageous. For my final flavor today, I am mixing up a creamy chicken taco hand pie. Trust me, you guys are gonna love this one. It is so super yummy, nice and savory. This one all starts in my skillet. I'm just frying up some red onion, some bell peppers, and a little bit of garlic. Once that's all nice and soft and cooked through, I'm just gonna transfer it to a bowl and get to work on my filling. So I'm starting with some room temperature cream cheese. Trust me, using room temperature cream cheese is just gonna make your life a whole lot easier. And that is what this channel is all about, making your life easier. To that, I'm adding my onion and pepper mixture and a good helping of cooked shredded chicken. I'm gonna season all of this up with some taco seasoning, and we're just gonna give this all a good mix and assemble our hand pies. Once again, these bake at 375 for between 18 and 20 minutes. When they're ready, they are super creamy on the inside and nice and crispy and golden on the outside. I highly recommend eating them with some hot sauce. That just takes them to a whole other level. I really hope you will give them a try. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo because I love hearing from you. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more. You think I've done this enough times. Finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more lunch deliciousness where this came from.